Welcome to Business Analytics course. This is Dr. Aruna, Associate Professor from MBA Department, MLR Institute of Technology. In today's session, we are going to discuss about big data, sources of big data characteristics, how big data works, benefits of big data, real-world applications, and types of big data. So we are going to discuss all these concepts in today's session. Moving forward, so what is big data? Big data is the massive amount of data, or we can say extremely large and complex data sets that is growing exponentially and that cannot be processed by simply the prior spreadsheets or databases, means olden databases or spreadsheets. Through that we cannot simply analyze it, or we cannot process it. So it is massive amount of data. Now, how this data comes? This data comes in various forms, like in the form of a structured form, that is in the form of tables, databases, semi-structured form like JSON and XML, JavaScript object notation, and also XML, extensive markup language, or in the unstructured format like text, any kind of text, messages, videos, etc. Now, if these are properly managed and analyzed, this big data can be very much helpful for the organization to discover new insights that can make better business decisions. So, this is about big data. Now, how this big data is created? What are the different sources? If you see, the first one is social media. So, billions of people are giving tweets, posting videos, photos, and uploading everything every day. So, social media is one source where we can observe massive amount of data. The second one is IoT devices like sensors in vehicles, factories, wearable devices, and smart appliances. They also generate enormous amount of data. And the third one, scientific instruments. So, for example, space telescopes, particle accelerators, they also produce huge amount of data sets. That is also one source of big data. Next, business transactions. So nowadays, everything, whatever the transactions, whatever the purchases we are doing at the outlet, that is at point of sale and all, whenever people are doing the shopping online, usually they swipe in the card and a lot of amount of data, means the transaction data is produced. So this is also one way or one source of getting the big data. Then public sector records, whether it is weather record, whether it is health record, or whether it is public safety databases, whatever it may be, they also contribute to the sources of big data, that is public sector records. So what are the different sources means? One is social media, second one is IoT devices, third one is scientific instruments, fourth one is business transactions, and fifth one is public sector record. Now, moving ahead, the next topic is about big data characteristics, or what are the characteristic features of big data. So we call them as 5 V's. 5 V's of big data are nothing but the characteristic features. Now the first one is volume, the second one is velocity, third one is variety, fourth one is veracity, and the fifth one is value. Now, what are all these? What are these 5 V's? Now, volume means we come across huge amount of data. Every second, we can see lot of amount of data is coming into the market around the globe. So, it starts from, means the data starts ranging from terabytes to petabytes. Now, velocity. Velocity is nothing but the speed at which the data is created, it is shared, it is processed. Say, for example, any festival is coming, we post messages, we share messages. So, lot of information from the sensors, social media, and transactions that are taking place in real time. The speed at which the data is occurring or it is created. And variety. Variety means we come across different forms of data or different formats of data. Like in the previous slide, we have seen the structured data, which is in the form of reports, databases, etc., which is semi-structured data in the form of Excel, XML, that is extensive markup language, JSON, etc., and unstructured data like images, videos, and also some text. So this is variety. Now the fourth V of big data is veracity. What is this veracity? The trustworthiness of the data, the quality, the accuracy and trustworthiness of the data is nothing but veracity. Next, value. The ability to transform the raw data into actionable insights. Means how we can use the raw data so that we can use it to solve the complex business problems or solve problems. That is nothing but value. So, volumes is huge amount of data. Next, variety, different formats of data, that is different forms like we have structured, unstructured, semi-structured. Value, how exactly the raw data is useful for the business. Velocity, the speed at which the data is coming into the market, or the speed at which the data is created. And veracity, the trustworthiness, the quality, the accuracy of the data. So all these 5 V's constitute the characteristics of big data. Now, moving forward, the next concept. How exactly this big data works? So, how the big data is actually the process is taking place. Usually, whatever the data is obtained, it is collected from multiple sources that we call it as data integration. We are using generally Apache, NiFi, Plume and Scope. All these are the tools that are used to collect the data. Now, the data that has been collected, it is stored and managed. So, stored data is mainly stored in data lakes and also distributed in file systems. In most of the cases, unstructured data is stored in the data lakes. So, the tools that are used for data storage and management are Hadoop, Amazon, Google's cloud storage, etc. Now, once the data has been stored and managed, and whenever it is required, we are making it, we are analyzing it and we are visualizing it so that we come to one conclusion or we extract some insights from it. So, the third one is nothing but data analysis and visualization. So, for this also, the tools used are Apache Spark, Tableau, Power BI. So what we are doing, we are using different kinds of tools to run this analytics and extract insights. So the big data, actually the process means how the big data is working means 3 processes. First one is collection of data, which is nothing but data integration. Next is data storage. Whatever the collected data is there, that is stored and managed, and it is analyzed, and we are going to extract insights from the data. Now, the next concept. What are the benefits of big data? Of course, we can do better decision making. So, we identify the trends, customer needs and risks for smarter strategies. Next, faster innovation. So, whether it is product development or analyzing the market feedback, analytics or big data helps in faster innovation. Next, personalizing customer behavior or preferences is also one of the benefit of big data. Next, operational efficiency. Detect any kind of inefficiencies or automate any repetitive tasks. For this also, big data is useful. Next, risk and threat detection. So, monitor suspicious activity and prevent any kind of financial fraud or cyber attacks. For this purpose also, big data is very effectively used. Hence, the benefits of big data include better decision making, faster innovation, enhanced customer experience, operational efficiency, risk and threat detection. Now, let us see what are the real world applications of big data. Now, if you look at the retail market, that is in the retail sector, Amazon and Flipkart, they use the purchase history of the customers and the browsing patterns, and accordingly they suggest the products. Now, when it comes to finance sector, banks detect fraudulent transactions in real time using big data models. Whether it is healthcare or transportation, in the case of healthcare, most of the cases, hospitals analyze patient records and medical data to improve the diagnosis and also the treatment. And the last one is when it comes to transportation also, Uber uses GPS and traffic data to reduce wait times and improve the driver routes. In this way, big data is utilized in real world applications. These are a few examples. There are many examples in our real life where we are going to use big data. The next concept, types of big data. So here, as we have discussed in the previous slides, big data types are usually three varieties. One is structured data, second one is unstructured data, and the third one is semi-structured data. Let us explore in detail what exactly this structured data is, unstructured and semi-structured data is. Now, if you look at this first one, that is structured data, this is highly organized and which is in the form of predefined format. Mostly, we take into consideration the spreadsheets or the databases because it is easy for us to analyze the data. Now, when it comes to structured data, most of the cases, it is the databases such as Oracle, DB2, Teradata, MySQL, etc. And we also have our Excel, that is spreadsheets, where we store the data in the form of rows and columns. So that is also an example for structured data. And whatever the online transaction process or systems are there, that is the transactions that are taking place, financial with respect to finance, that is financial transactions, that are also in the form of tables. So that also becomes one of the best example for structured data. So simply, structured data is highly organized data in a predefined format. Usually we take into consideration the spreadsheets, databases, etc. For any person, if they look at the database or if they look at the table, automatically they can understand, they can analyze what exactly is given in that table. So it is easy for any common person to understand. So that becomes a structured data. Now, the second one is unstructured data. The unstructured data has got no predefined format. So it includes like images, videos, audio files, and sometimes even the text files or text documents are also comes under unstructured data, because sometimes it is not possible for us to understand the data. It has got no predefined format. It requires some specialized tools for analysis. If you look at the examples, see, for example, any kind of videos is nothing but an example for unstructured data. The web pages, it is also an example for unstructured data. Any text, free form text is also an example for unstructured data. Images, they are also an example for unstructured data. Whether it is charts, sometimes charts we may not understand directly looking at the chart. So the charts, not charts, chats. So the chats also come under unstructured data. Text messages are also sometimes not easily understandable, so they are included under unstructured data, because they have got no predetermined format, and hence it requires some specialized tools for analysis. Now moving forward for the third variety, that is semi-structured data. Obviously, it is a hybrid of both structured as well as unstructured data. It doesn't conform to a rigid relational database model, but still it contains some elements, organizational elements like some markers, some tags, so that we can separate it. We can derive to one particular conclusion. For example, emails is one example. XML, extensive markup language. Then JavaScript object notation, that is JSON, or else the zip files, audios, and other markup languages. All this come under the examples of semi-structured data. Now, what we have seen today in this current session In this session, we have learned what is big data. So big data means it is massive amount of data which is occurring in which is expanding from terabytes to gigabytes, and sources of big data. So we are having so many sources like IoTs, sensors, etc. Big data characteristics, we have seen 5 V's, and how the big data works. The big data works on 3 phases that we have seen. The one is data integration, then data storage and management, and then analyzing the data. Benefits of data we have seen. So the benefits means most of the cases we are going to analyze the big data into a useful form for any kind of business, and in real world applications. Big data is used in different ways, like Amazon and Flipkart uses for purchase history, and Uber uses for reducing the wait time, etc. And types of big data, we have seen 3 forms. One is structured data, the second one is unstructured data, and the third one is semi-structured data. So these are the concepts which we have seen in this particular session. In the forthcoming session, that is in the next session, we would be looking into the few more interesting concepts. Thank you. Stay tuned.